Hey there, odds and friends, my little Zoopies, my wonderful backers. Thanks for joining me on this little update video. This one is long overdue, and I will try to explain myself a little bit, although in order to keep from getting in the weeds, I will point you to my 12-minute long video called Why that's on my YouTube and on the Monkey Gong site. I've been remiss in giving you updates on this project, and I am sorry for that. I'm also way past my prospective delivery date for this project, and I apologize for that as well. As you can hear in the other video, it's been a very complicated year. There's been a number of personal things that have happened, some family things that have happened that have absolutely just swallowed my attention span for months on end. It's not something that I expected to happen, but it was also something that I could not avoid. The other thing is that I signed up for far too many events to promote myself because last year was a very strong year as far as letting Monkey Gong out of the gate and trying to establish this line of comics. And I had signed up for pretty much every convention that I did this year prior to even doing the Zoop campaign, so you'll have to forgive me, but I just did not understand what it was all going to mean when the chips actually fell. That said, I do have a visual update for you that I'm going to jump into right now. This is Odds and Ends. Each of these stacks is a story. Minimum 3 pages, then 4, then 5, and 9. Except that one. No. Single pages, 3 pages. Ooh, look at that fat stack of pages. Showing this one off a little bit. This is the section that is fully complete. 33 pages when you include this right here, which is the backup story. Here's an old piece that I am fixing up to be a pinup for the Adventures of Cotton Hickox, but also this will be my remark page. So these 3 right here, 4 rather, sorry, are the section that are the most undone. By that I mean teeny tiny stuff like this. Little corrections, like you gotta fix the shading or a little bit more of the waves. You gotta finish the ships behind here. Put some stars in. Very small stuff. This might have read my recent Opus update email. That's the 3 new pages because this was along with this. And it just didn't really make a story. So I added 2 pages to that plus a nice illustration to turn this into the cover via some snazzy graphic design. And just for funsies. Right there. That's 4 more pages of Technopolis that are fully inked except for a couple of mistakes. I had completely forgotten that I didn't finish them because I ran out of time last year. I almost forgot. This is a massive page. 6 by 42, I think. And this will be included as the 21st story. It's a single page, I'm not going to ruin it. Things are well underway. I only have a handful more new artwork to do, a very, very small amount, just a number of pages, like 5 or 6 pages probably. And that is because there's a story that I had to disqualify, partially because of future use and rights, but also because the tone was so much different than everything else that I was offering in Odds and Ends that I actually felt like it would be a really dour, nihilistic ending to a really, really good anthology of amazing stories. And I'm really happy with the way this book is looking, and I just felt like the step I was going to take by putting a horror story specifically at the very end was just absolutely the wrong choice. I do have an alternate story that is really fun. I'm really excited to draw it. I'm just putting the finishing touches on writing it right now. And I don't want you to be alarmed because there's still stuff left to do, because what's happening now is that as I'm in the correction phase of what's left on the actual artwork of everything you saw previously in this video, and that's literally just teeny tiny background details, drawing a cityscape in the very deep background, this and that, a little bit of white out here and there. It's very, very small amounts of work. So that stuff is within weeks of being wrapped up, but I just want to give a quick rundown of what to expect for the rest of the year. I do believe that I can wrap up Odds and Ends by the end of the year as far as the actual artwork is concerned, and get it in the computer to get it ready to print by the end of the year. I know that is not what most people want to hear, but I promise you're going to get a really, really nice set of books that are looking so much better than I ever expected them to look, with much richer stories and much richer world building because of the extra work that I've put into it since the campaign. It just keeps opening itself up to me and offering new opportunities to make it a better book, but I am not getting stuck in any tangents, really. I'm just finding ways for it to be the most itself that it can possibly be for you. So that said, the other reason that it's going to have to be the end of December or January 1st-ish that this goes into the computer for completion for you is because I have something happening with the publisher, with Gold Key Comics, and I've made that pretty clear that I've been working with them for a while now. On the side, as they get everything out of the gate for the new version of that publishing company. In the interim, though, that has happened. Boris Karloff's Gold Key Mysteries Book 1 has now hit the stands, which means that I have now been tasked to do my story for Boris Karloff's Gold Key Mysteries Book 2. Unfortunately, there's a very short deadline in early December for that, so it is going to get in my way of working on Odds and Ends for a couple more weeks, but don't be alarmed. As I said, there's tons of post-production work to do. I still have one more convention, that's LA Comic-Con, to do this year, and then after that, I have absolutely no scheduled commitments until March. So until March, from December 10th or so, I am going to be working specifically and exclusively to finish Odds and Ends. So you should be getting this book. I'm not going to give you another prospective delivery date because I don't know what the post-production timeline is going to be, but I think it's pretty safe to say you'll have it for convention season next summer to bring by, summer 2024, to bring by my tables for signatures if you did not get them in the original rewards. So one final update is just to say that you will see that I am doing a lot of promotion for a comic book club at Monkey Gong. And that is not a thing that I did that distracted me from working on Odds and Ends at all. That is the same subscription that you may have seen me advertising early pandemic, like 2020 pandemic, okay? And it was a thing that I could not get off the ground at that time for a number of reasons. But now it is a thing that I have to get off the ground because the way that this year's unpredictability absolutely sabotaged everything that I was trying to do, it just pushed me into a place of absolute necessity with this subscription. So do not be confused or concerned if you see me promoting a comic book club for Monkey Gong. It's all stuff that was done separate of Odds and Ends, or it was done for Odds and Ends and is being separated for people who did not back Odds and Ends as their rewards for joining the subscription. So I've got a pretty robust plan that will not interfere with Odds and Ends, but in fact will only make a place for Odds and Ends when the time is right for the printed version to arrive in my life and your lives. So I think I've covered all the ground. It's been an exhausting year, but I promise I am not going to stop until this book is done. And I think you are going to be extremely happy with what you get when the results are in. Thank you so much for your patience. Once again, I appreciate everybody backing this campaign. It meant a lot to me. It means a lot to me still. And I promise you that I am going to deliver well beyond your expectations and my promise. Thank you very much for watching this video. I appreciate that. And I will see you again for another update soon when I walk you through some of those pages that I just showed you from afar. Bye-bye now.